Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Leo, as those of you who've been watching the channel already know, but I have a very interesting little story for you guys today. Now, as y'all know, we've uncovered a lot of missing and forgotten locations and people, but today I'm after something for myself. I'm trying to find my second grandparents' grave. My second grandfather, Moses Coleman, was born December 26th, the day after Christmas, in 1827, here in Phelps, Kentucky. And to my third grandparents, Daniel Boone Coleman and Sarah Kinder. So basically, he was a Christmas present for Daniel and Sarah. He married a girl named Louisa May, but sadly Louisa died young after giving birth to her first child named Daniel Coleman after Moses' dad. He then married my grandmother, Rachel Dotson, in 1854, who was the daughter of Jordan Dotson and Mary Polly Wilson, and was 17 years old at the time. Jordan applied for a homestead land on Big Branch, and I'm going to stop by there and show y'all something there too here in a minute. On January 25th in 1851, he received 100 acres of land that they notched the trees on to mark their boundary. They worked a farm near a place called Peter's Pond, and the family became close friends with branches of the Stump, Coleman, and the Hatfield families. And our line later married into the McCoy family as well, meaning we had lots of family actively involved in both sides of the famous Hatfield-McCoy feud. Many Dotsons, most of them Jordan's descendants, still live in the area today, including me. So back to Moses. He was also a Confederate soldier for a while, but after getting shot and injured multiple times in the fighting, he came back home to the hills and hollers that he loved. He and Rachel had many children together, and he passed away on the 19th of June in 1884 at only 54 years old. My grandmother, Rachel, who was about 13 years younger, died shortly after in 1900. He has a rock as a marker with just his initials, and Rachel's grave is simply missing. She is shown as being buried at a Coleman cemetery, which means absolutely nothing, considering there are many cemeteries here that carry the name Coleman. So maybe I'll get lucky and find her as well. I am sure that I will see some of my family regardless, including several graves that I have never seen before today. Now, I started off right here on purpose. It looks like I'm going to have to explain what I'm doing here. That's very common. People see you, they want to know what you're doing. So I'll be right back. I'm going to explain what I'm doing here. I'll be back. Okay, now where were we? I just met the guy up here. His name is John. Believe it or not, my Uncle Lambert that lived right here used to rent from his uncle. I started this video here for a reason. See, this spot holds a whole bunch of really good memories for me from when I was little. We'd come over here when school was out in the summer, and we'd pretty much hang out here. Of course, there was none of these houses here, none of these houses here. There was one way on it through there, but that was it. There was nothing else here. And I remember Uncle Lambert, he had huge garden all up this way, all down through that way, and it would just be just tons and tons of family just hanging out. And of course Mom and Lambert and the rest of them, they were doing some serious drinking. Yeah, I guess technically speaking, they were probably considered functioning alcoholics, but you know what I mean. It's neither here nor there. It's not part of the story. Anyway, I can remember some really good times right here in this very spot right there. And I saw on Google Earth that there's a picture of the old house still standing. It's fallen in, but it was still there. And John was saying that they just recently, it hadn't been that long since they tore the old house out. But got in my very first fight right down here. There was a bridge, something similar to this, except on this lower side, the water was much deeper. It was about 4 or 5 feet deep. And we would take our bikes and get us a big old run and jump off and land in the water. And we'd take a rope, tie a rope to the handlebars and drag the bike back out and do it again. But anyway, like I said, I just thought I'd start the video off here. A whole lot of really fond memories. And not just me, you know, my family going back to the 1850s have really, really good memories, and I'm sure some really bad ones too. Right in this very same little spot. Right there is where the house used to be. Alright, we've got a couple stops to make, and I'm going to go up and try to find this old graveyard, and we'll just see what we can find. You never know, right? You don't know till you look. You won't find nothing if you don't look, guaranteed. But I've got one stop on the way I want to show y'all, and we'll head on up that way. See y'all in a second. Now this right here is the second stop for today, and I brought y'all up here for one simple reason, one really quick reason. I wanted to see if there was a sign here, and I don't see one. No, I don't see a sign anywhere. It would have been really cool if there was a sign here, because this is called Dick's Knob. Seriously, y'all think I'm messing with you? I'm not playing. This is called Dick's Knob, and I was really hoping that there was a sign up here somewhere that said Dick's Knob. I wanted a picture of that. Nope, can't get lucky. That would have been a cool picture though, wouldn't it, on Facebook? Dick's Knob Hollow. You know, this right here is called Callaway Holler over in Phelps. I just stopped and talked to some guys trying to find out about the old Ken Carr shop, and it turns out they were Dotsons, so they were cousins. Imagine that. We got talking. First guy, John, we talked for probably half an hour, and then just sat there talking to these two guys. Look at that big coal tipple right there. This is definitely some coal mining country, and as you can see, there's a big mine right there. Look at the belt lines. A lot of coal. It's a lot of energy right there. We are looking for a couple things, actually. There's another graveyard. There's actually two up here that I suspect. And my mother and my uncle and a couple grandparents up here at the end of the holler, but I don't think the grave that I'm looking for is in my family graveyard. I think it's very close. Very close. Of course, all of this was coal mine back in the day. You can see all the coal. There's a railroad, so they could haul the coal out of this holler. Several coal mines still in operation here. I usually don't come in this way. I come in from the other side and drop down at the foot of the mountain is where Mom is. But that is not what we're looking for today. My Uncle Lambert lived in that house right there, for a matter of fact, for a while. Okay, now, from this holler, they own all of it. I checked on Google Earth. The only way to get 100 acres and have the family graveyard within the boundaries is for it to basically follow the creek, the good houses down in the valley. Put it that way, the good land. So all of this at one time was family land. All of this. My family, well, my second grandfather owned all of this. I think I got cheated, y'all. Now there's supposed to be there's one. How do you get to it? There's one up there. Let's see. I can see a house. So there's somebody's property. So I'm gonna have to go up and ask. Something we're very accustomed to doing too. Knocking on doors and asking questions. So let's go do that. I'll be back. Beehives. Definitely not what we're looking for. I don't think that's the right graveyard because it's new looking and has chain link around it. So I don't think that's the right one anyway. But all of this would have been their property as well. All of it. On up the holler we go. There's one. Garrett. Imagine what this looked like back in the mid-1800s. Looks like there could be one up there. And that looks like it's almost certainly a cemetery road going back on the hill. The ones you're familiar with are always the hardest ones. I'm actually pretty familiar with Callaway. This right here, let's go show you real quick. This would have been part of the property as well, because the graveyard that my mother is in was included in this, and they had a house up here. So this would have been family land as well. And this is where Mom is now, and my uncle and a couple grandparents as well. Since we're here, we'll just check on the graveyard since we're here. Winter's coming. It's time to come and clean it off soon. Ooh, dragon. Not the best place to bring a Mustang, is it? This is it though. The foot of Callaway. Mom, my aunts, I have uncles, a whole bunch of family right there. Looks like I'm going to have to come up here and clean this out real good. I remember when I was young, I can remember telling Mom that I always felt real comfortable for some reason up here at this old graveyard. And, you know, her grandmother, my great-grandmother, her house used to sit right here. And I remember when I was younger, there was an old chimney that sat right there. And I came up here and cleared all that out and cleaned all that out up through there and all the way back out here. And you can see where I went all the way up around the hill and back down. Looks like I've got about another month, and as soon as a good frost or two, I'll come over here and clear it all off again. Anyway, like I was saying, when I was younger, I used to say that I felt really comfortable over here. Since Mom's here, not so much. I don't feel very comfortable here anymore. It's just something, you know how it is. But when I was young, this wasn't here. There was a really old house down here at the entrance where I just turned off that they said she was a witch. It was a lady in her 80s. She looked it, and I can remember, we did a story not long ago about something like that, but there was another one, and I can remember that when we were little coming up there. It was just a really old house, and just really creepy looking. But I can remember that when we were little bitty kids, coming up here with the family to clear this off. And I guess since Mom, you know how that goes. But I'm gonna have to come up this winter and do it, I guess. It's be one of those things, won't it? Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. We didn't find Moses, didn't find Mose Coleman, but we will. I will find him. If you've watched our channel for a while, we don't give up very easily. And we have a tendency to come out and hunt again. If we don't find it the first time, we have a bad habit of looking again. So I would imagine we've been looking for this grave now for Heather's been wanting this one to document, and I've been wanting to see it myself as well for a couple years now, to visit this old grave. We won't give up. This isn't the end. To be continued. We'll say that much. Anyway, I guess I better get out of here. I've got to go down, and I'm going to take this shortcut and go back up over Callaway Mountain. There's a little mountain pass right up here. There's supposedly a little graveyard right over there somewhere, but I do not see it. That's what the guy was telling you about at the garage I just met. He said there was one on the other side up on the hill, and I didn't remember seeing one, and I certainly don't see one now. But I guess it's a possibility up there where that clear cut is, maybe. I have to come back and look when I come back for that. I have to round up a couple cousins or something and come over with some chainsaws, and which it's not very big, it's just little stuff, but still. Cleaned it once since she passed, but it's due again. Alright guys, I'm going to get out of here for now, and we will revisit this at a later date and see if we can't find this old graveyard. Like I said, I seem to find everyone else's graves. It's just when I go to find mine, that's where the problem comes in. This is Leo with the Hillbilly Files.